you ready?
Welcome to another episode of the Weeb Club. I'm that fucking asshole Craftsdwarf. Say hello, Craftsdwarf. Hi.
You guys smell something? You smell
No.
that, guys? Exactly. It's gone. The smell of fucking sewer rat has been eliminated. Eradicated from the club room.
I do still smell cereal, though.
Cereal?
Cereals.
Hey friends, what's up? It's me, Vindy Vondo, everyone's favorite rat. So I'm sorry I'm not on the Weeb Club this week, but as you're about to see, I just moved into an apartment. So hold on, how do you do this? Okay, well, whatever. You can see, boxes everywhere. My fucking computer's not hooked up. I just built a chair. I actually don't even have internet yet. So even if my shit was together, I won't be able to record. However, oh shit, I'm bad at this. However, there's something very important that happened to me. I went to the store to pick up some other stuff, and I saw Space Jam cereal. So I'm going to eat this in honor of the Weeb Club. So give me 1 second to pour a bowl.
Are you being cereal right now?
Shut up.
I want to die.
So, alright. Well, basically, just to explain real quick, I wasn't kidding about Vindy being gone. He's literally moving, and he literally can't record until he gets internet on Saturday. So, yeah. Comments.
Comments, huh? So, there was a comment I wanted to read. There's a comment I wanted to read because it was, How can Nunmanji be a manipulator when he doesn't even have a seat? Do you need
Yeah, if he was
seats
a
to be
good manipulator, well, you don't. If he was a good manipulator, he would have a seat, but he doesn't. So
that also is just part of the ploy. I don't know what's hard to understand about that. He just does this for emotional manipulation. If he has a seat, he loses one of the tools to manipulate us. But because he doesn't have one, he can get the commenters to be like, "Oh no, Nun doesn't have a seat. It's so sad."
I don't know why you're acting like this when you just cheered that Vindy wasn't here 2 minutes ago.
Huh? What you talking about? Huh? What you talking about?
Yeah, and the other thing about Vindy being gone is you guys can't talk about rap anymore, and people seem to like that discussion.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. All the comments. I thought there was another one, but I'm probably high as fuck because there's all comments about the rap discussion, and for example, I never said that the only reason rap music was in there because he's black. But sure, you said it, not me. LOL, yeah, Spider-Verse went from an 8 to a 3, and now ᵃᵗ from a 7 to a 1, which is man, that is the most Guitar Skater comment we've gotten on a video yet. That is one of the worst things I've ever read. Oh my god.
It's so sad.
Oh my god.
That is a funny Guitar Skater comment.
It is. It's terrible. Oh my god. So let me see. So. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna. When y'all finna do a rap podcast? That would never happen. I would never do that because at a certain point it turned to shit posting. Oh, well, a crocodile with teeth is telling me that he's doing with me. So.
What?
What? Who let
What?
this crocodile in here? Crocodile with big teeth.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, a lot of these just have to do with the rap part of the podcast, and
yeah, I don't see anything that I really want to bring up specifically.
See, it's funny. The weekly got way more views, but I like the the comments on the Fast and Furious one way more.
Oh yeah, so let's just go to that, please, because I'm really struggling to find one of these that I actually want to
Natty
read.
says,
no.
you can tell what has been waiting for this his whole life.
My whole life. I like how he specifies my whole life, as if...
Or your entire life, excuse me.
Yeah, well, okay. Fucking...
That was my
your
fault.
semantics with your words, sir. Excuse me. Okay. Family reminder that Han has been retconned 3 times. Okay. And of course, I had to do some damage control in the comments section. I had to remind this lovely individual that it hasn't been retconned. Mr. Nobody just hid the truth. You just didn't understand it, alright? You don't understand. You just...
I haven't watched the movie, so I don't have the context
the information...
for what you're talking
Listen,
about.
No one's really gone. Family's never really gone, sir. Dominic Toretto versus... Okay, see, some of these, it's like Dominic Toretto versus Naruto, who would win? We already answered the question, right?
I think we literally answered that exact question, like word for word, on the podcast.
If Naruto threatened Dom's family, he would be fucking dead. There would be nothing Naruto could do, ever. Like, we did say, like, Dom versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but Super Saiyan 1 Goku is stronger than Naruto. Like, no. Silly boys. You don't know what power scaling is.
Also, so anyway, you apparently didn't mention the part where the villains hack all the weapons in the world so that they can control them and stop enemies from shooting them whenever they want, including knives.
So, to explain
Is that real?
What actually happened is, in Hobbs and Shaw, there is a mysterious tech cult that is trying to just replace all of humanity with technology. So the final climax of Hobbs and Shaw takes place in Samoa, which actually just means, like, different places in Kauai that they're calling Samoa. And, like, so they show up there, and fucking Hobbs is like... Hobbs' family was somehow rigged up a way to disable this, like, chip recognition technology that all of the people in the tech cult have, and that includes
so there
knives.
were specific knives for the tech cult. Okay,
Yeah.
Look, I just want to say that, like, because I haven't seen the movies and the way you talked about them, I legitimately sat there and was like, I don't know if this is true or not, but, like, there's a part of me that legitimately believes that Fast and Furious would just have, like, the bad guys literally hack all the knives in the world so that people can't use them. And, like, that was like, yeah, that seems reasonable enough for me to think about it as plausible, but I don't know if it's true or not. I'm still doubting. Like,
man, like, the knives are just extreme technology. They're just higher tech than usual knives, all right? They're used by people who made Black Superman. And, like, as Roman Reigns and the Usos and, whatever, and, like, they fought with, man, one thing that set me off that made me laugh so fucking hard, because the way she says it, and, like, it comes off as the most, like, guys, The Rock is Samoan, did you know? We're in the islands. Island people talk like this. The mom's like, there's literally a part where, like, Hobbs is like, all of our weapons are over in the garage, and he opens up a cabinet, and all the guns are gone. They've been replaced with, like, the wooden traditional Samoan weapons, and they're like, he's like, Mom, where's the weapons at? She's like, I got rid of them, and and then she's like, we fight them with the mana in our hearts, and I was like, okay, they're fucking dead. Yeah. When she said the fucking words, we fight with the mana in our hearts, I was like, you're fucking, you're fucking, you can't, you did not record this fucking line on purpose. Oh my god, I was like, oh my god, it's like in the beginning of the film when the Rock's, like, daughter goes like, Daddy, how come you don't talk about Samoa anymore? And I was like, oh my fucking, stop. I don't know, it tickles me a little differently than it probably should. Hey, there's a comment you should probably read, Craftsdwarf.
I already clicked off of the episode.
You did? Well,
yeah.
Because WattheWut is disappointed that I didn't recite the Fat Burger line from the first movie. Now, if you didn't,
I don't know what that is.
No, I was talking about a different one that you should read. But what I'm saying is, there's a line from the first film where there's a character who goes up to fucking Paul Walker and says, "Hey, ⁱᵗ, if you want a sandwich, just go to Fat Burger." So they're advertising Fat Burger for no reason in the same line that they use the ⁱᵗ. And what Afro seems to think that's hilarious. And I was like, I think it's more funny to imagine the fact that these films would have never happened if, like, Paul Walker never ordered the tuna. If he never ordered a tuna sandwich, none of these films would have ever happened. That's just the funnier thing to think about.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? This is the best comment. Chad Melvin commented on the video and said, "Is like One Piece, but good," and he's right. That's what Craftsdwarf's afraid. Craftsdwarf knows that the moment he tries to watch these films, he's gonna have to lower One Piece from his top from his top spot, and then put the Fast and the Furious series in number 1. That's just what's gonna have to happen. Craftsdwarf knows this is the case, but he won't admit it, and he won't try to check out the films to prove so. It's very unfortunate. You know what else is unfortunate, Craftsdwarf, is that Nunmanji didn't read any comments.
I don't have any comments.
Yeah, see,
I don't think he. I was just thinking about how, like, I don't even think he's spoken this episode so far. So, like, are people just gonna think, wait, is Nun gone too? But
Hey
no, he's here.
guys, welcome to the Nen Show. It's me, Math.
All right, I'm ready to move on to the Reddit.
Okay, we're on the Reddit. Yeah.
So Vindy made a really nice pizza.
Yeah, I didn't get the joke, but I thought it was like
It took
mildly
me a
amusing, I
second.
guess.
It's
I assume it's ratatouille, but I really have no
no,
idea.
it's because Vindy eats hair. Yeah, it
Is that
took
the
me a
joke?
I'm
second.
moving on.
Oh,
Like it took.
okay.
Moving on.
I stared at it for a second. And I was just like, "Oh, Vindy eats hair," and this is when he gets real fancy. However, the meme after that is hilarious.
It's so fucking good.
That one's so fucking funny. Okay, so to explain, friend of the show, unfortunately, MathWiz was one of the people who was on AnyTube Guest Digest. It's probably made one of the only watchable episodes of that show ever. And we were
Toxicity on this man.
we were like, yes, finally, we stand a champion. Let's go in. And who did she put at the top of best of the week?
No, you're skipping because
Yeah.
it just by complete coincidence, like she told me about that she was in the guest digest, and I was literally already planning to upload the importance of talking to Jutsu video
Yes,
on the week that she was
phenomenal
doing
video,
by
yeah.
complete chance, honestly. Right? No, the response to that video by like people I know are like, "Oh, this is like the best Naruto analysis on YouTube." This is like I think in the comments of her video, Max Westerman said like, "This is one of the best. This is contender for best AnyTube video of the year." She put it at the best video in the decent category.
Which is very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate.
So she had like 3 or 4 other videos she liked more than. I mean, her explanation was that she had already read the script, so it didn't like wow her any because she already knew what the video was about, basically, which is fair. And I literally told her about the video like fucking in 2019. So it's like whatever. But the video she liked best this week was a vlog of like Man and Matt taking a road trip, and thus so that. But the meme is still really funny because it's like, yeah, man, this is over me.
It's very sad, isn't it?
Um,
Imagine losing to Anime Matt. You need to stop reading manga now, you fucking nerd.
You're right. I have to give up my manga privileges. I've lost Man and Matt.
It's so sad.
So anyway, the next meme is also funny.
Well, I don't see the problem.
I mean, no, it's just facts, but
I don't see the problem with this image. One of them, like, like, what is this? I thought that was an iFunny logo in between the quote and the picture on the Legit Galactic Heroes one. So, like, that's not good for branding.
Honestly, it's not even one of Reinhardt's best quotes, but
Listen, he said a
Anyway,
deep thing. I could put it on my quotes 3.
Oh man, it sure is so deep. I love ⁃ᵗ'⁄⁗.
Oh my god, I love Tepu.
⁃ᵗ'⁄⁗ is funnier because it's literally for 7-year-old children. But anyway,
Well, mine is women that punch each other.
Okay. Anyway, so the next
hot.
one is also funny.
Jack off to it, huh?
It's a flushed away edit, but it's funny.
Yeah. I don't understand. What wait, was an edit?
All right.
⁃ᵗ'ฐ์. Anyway, so this meme I like quite a bit. Average ⁃ᵗ'ᵘ 2011 hater, average ⁃ᵗ'ᵘ 2011 enjoyer. You know, this is why he's fucking gone. This is why he's fucking gone. This rat, this rodent, too hairless to fucking just appreciate something like ⁃ᵃ 2011, the greatest anime ever made according to Annie Twitter. Please have good taste next time, dumbass. Maybe then you'll be able to come back. Hey, Nun. What do you
Hey,
think about this video?
it's pretty good.
You're spooky, apparently.
I can't fucking do this, Craftsdwarf. You just fucking says one word.
What about the last one?
What do you think
I
about
didn't
that
watch
one,
it
Nun?
yet.
Oh my god.
All right, I'll just quote it. Vindy Bondo doesn't care about black people. How do you feel about that?
We knew that. Like, I don't understand. Everyone except for me in this podcast is a raging racist. So like, I don't understand.
Sad.
I'm not an
Man.
Huh?
Without Vindy, like something is missing. Anyway.
Oh yeah, like none to talk because like.
Well, that's not. I don't. Anyway.
I want to die. I just woke
You
up.
pick
Like,
the topic.
I just woke up like literally like 2 minutes before we started recording. So if I'm not all the way here, I apologize. Also, speaking of not all the way here, what the fuck was going on at Crunchyroll HQ when they decided, hey, we're bringing back the thunder. We're gonna fucking change the world of animation again. That's right, guys. You thought it wasn't real? You thought it wasn't coming back? We're gonna blow your fucking socks off.
Oh my god! I only just now looked at the video, and the like to dislike ratio is amazing.
High
is
Guardian
currently
Spies.
At 1.6k likes, 8k dislikes. Holy fuck!
It's actually way lower, like and dislike count. Then that's actually like a lower count. Or actually, no. Yeah, that's a fucking ridiculous numbers they got, right? It's only their likes and dislikes are only in the thousands. That's fucking hilarious, actually. So
yeah, this literally looks like fucking She-Ra or fucking Steven Universe or some kind of fucking American cartoon.
Take back
shit.
that first part of that.
It looks like. Are you fucking gonna tell me I'm wrong?
That first part of that, please.
I mean, it like some of the characters definitely
looks like
look
the
like
same
She-Ra.
kind of like pretending to be anime shit. It's exactly the same.
Take that back.
You were the one who said that She-Ra is fucking
that
inspired by fucking Sailor Moon and shit.
Take that back, sir. I don't want to hear the slander of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, one of the greatest pieces of animation to grace this world, sir. I don't want to hear you doing this. Say sorry, please. Thank you.
Never.
So yeah, High Guardian Spice. Crunchyroll's attempt at making an original animation that everybody hated in the 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago?
No, it was
I don't even fucking remember.
It was 2018.
Yeah. Oh god, 2018. What a
You were still making videos then.
Oh, not good ones. So.
Oh.
Oh.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
Uh.
Making good videos.
Oh. None of us would know. Oh, actually, no. Nunmanji would know what that's like. Well,
Anyway.
No. So, like, I made a video, like, years ago where the whole meme was that, like, I was so tired of everybody just shitting on this for no, like, and their only thing was... When you hear this show...
Like, it's a fucking preview. What can you shit on? Like, wow, we're announcing this thing. It's the worst thing ever. I decided that. I haven't watched it yet because I can't.
Like,
but it's the worst thing ever.
Like, no, like, so what they showed back in, like, 2018 was just, it was like a video of, like, one of those, like, we have the sketches.
It was like behind the scenes, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was behind the scenes,
show,
and they had, like, sketches, and it still didn't tell anybody what it was. And I even made fun of that. I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Like, they just show sketches, and we're just supposed to pretend, like, whatever. And, like, so that was 3 years ago. They were, like, big gung-ho. They were saying that was coming out in 2019. And, like, every single video on it was the same one. It was just the Crunchyroll. It looks like the worst thing ever made. And then my video was just the real problem with High Guardian Spice, guys. What the fuck's up with that name, fellas? What's up with that name? High Guardian Spice? I still think the name's fucking stupid. I still don't like. I still think it's dumb, and like something about. I feel like it's out of order. Like
that's mostly what I remember. Where you're like, if you rearrange the words in almost any other order, it would make more sense. Guardian Spice High, Spice Guardian High, like. I guess sure.
Sure, it still doesn't change the fact that I don't fucking know what it's about. So then,
well, now there's a fucking whole trailer to watch. So
I mean, there's a trailer
complaint
now.
has been answered.
And my answer was it's Steven Universe. It's Steven Universe, guys.
Meets She-Ra.
I hate old people. Honestly,
oh damn it, he came back.
The coronavirus should have killed all the old people. Starting with Craftsdwarf and ending with Craftsdwarf.
I'm vaccinated, bitch. Suck my dick.
Nah, the vaccine won't save you, bitch. I'm vaccinated too. Nunmanji.
Which one?
Yeah.
All 5. None. What are your thoughts on Guardian Spice High and its new trailer that like totally was not worth a fucking 3-year wait?
I mean, I thought it looked okay. Like, you know, it does look a little stiff, but at the same time, it doesn't look necessarily bad. Like, I feel like it would be an okay enough show. I'm not really that interested in it.
Like, see, that's the biggest problem, right? It'd be funnier if I can mock it, right? With Connecting the 8 Seals, you can mock it. It's like, haha, look how bad it is. Look at the animation. It ugly. Oh my goodness, you know, and the circumstances surrounding that are fucking tragic, right? You guys know what happened to fucking Connecting the 8 Seals, why it ended up looking like that?
No.
Connexia got fucking scammed, right?
Oh, maybe I did hear about that.
Like, he made a video talking about what happened with Connecting the 8 Seals, where it was like this animation company, like he just wanted to make the thing in animation as like an anime as much as he wanted, and like they just fucking didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and then if you try to look at the company again, they're just fucking gone. You can't find where they're at. So like fucking Connecting the 8 Seals is a wild fucking thing where like you have a first episode. First of all, you have existing like material, you know, like all these things where you could just shit on it and make fun of it for like what you have. It was like for years the meme was how much we don't have, and then we get this and it's like, sure, that's something that would show up on Netflix animation or somewhere, and like,
yeah, I think like, because I don't know, from what discourse I've seen, I assume part of the reason people are mad is just because they're concerned that Crunchyroll is, they're taking our money, and that, you know, instead of using it to like, you know, license anime, you know, send it back to, you know, the industry that, you know, they're instead funding their own things. I don't know how much of that is true, because I've also heard that, like, at least their claim, again, I don't have any sources for this, but they claim that, like, it was only, High Guardian Spice was purely funded by investors, which, you know, would imply, I don't know what that means either. Like, I haven't done nearly enough research into myself.
Well, it's like,
you know, I understand, but it's like, I don't care.
I think it's also just like a really stupid take, honestly, because like Crunchyroll still gets like a vast majority of seasonals like all the time. Like, it's not like they're slowing down what they're getting.
Like, right. And there was an article on ANN about how much licenses cost, and it can be a lot, especially for notable shows. So it's not like they're, you know, like I don't know.
A lot of the politics surrounding Crunchyroll are just really fucking like painful to listen to, because I get like the core argument. If you really think about, because I guess like the core argument is like how much money like Crunchyroll overall has given back to the industry, considering how much they fucking like jerk themselves off for it. Like, you know, we had fucking one of their PR people going around harassing you if you breathed the sound of not using Crunchyroll. Like, if you didn't use Crunchyroll, you're literally a pirate who fucking is ruining the anime industry or something. And like, so like that didn't help with Crunchyroll's perception.
Well,
right?
Luckily we're kilometers away from that.
That's funny. Man, we need to go to the fucking express lane out of this fucking part of the conversation. But like, it's fucking Crunchyroll's politics are so fucked, mainly on the fact that like, you know, they're really fucking bad at communicating as well. Because of course they are. Fucking, it's an anime company. Of course they're fucking bad at communicating. The moral high grounding is terrible that they do, and it compiles onto it. And of course, their big selling point about Crunchyroll is that they're the number one way to support the anime industry. So the question remains with the High Guardian's bias is just, all right, so how is this going to help the anime industry? Anime industry? Huh? This is made by an American studio.
Yeah, because I think I hate just like vaguely remembering things on Twitter because I can't source any of it. But a good blog to check this out would be, I believe, the Sakubagaboro blog, where the guy who runs it there's a lot of articles on the different productions of shows. I feel like I would have heard this from, because I've been following them on Twitter for a while, and I feel like at one point they might have mentioned that apparently some anime or studio person said that like the actual animators themselves aren't necessarily seeing more from the fact that like so many shows are getting licensed to the West. But if you attribute like the licensing of shows to the West to like the amount of anime that are happening, then that's like a really, well, it's a troubling matter right now with just the fact that so many anime are coming out, because like the animation industry is understaffed and overworked basically, and also underpaid, right? Because it's a very high skill industry and they don't get what they deserve necessarily.
It's such a weird fucking weird political field, right? Because I forgot, like, because there's the whole like whole thing with Mappa, for example, people like shitting on Kobayashi's Dragon Maid,
Yeah, and like. Because, I mean, I think people like to associate certain things with, like, quality, which is, like, no. Go back, watch every anime from fucking summer 1996, and go, yeah, good anime. Like, and maybe, yeah, there's some good stuff in there.
Anime used to be better. It's all nothing but cash.
No, yeah, but, like I think us getting more shows, like, does lead to things happening that, like... I don't know how Vivi Floret I's song happened. It's literally my favorite anime of the year so far. It's not based on an existing property. It's completely original. Would that have happened if not for the fact that so many fucking anime are coming out? Like, I don't know, right? Like, so if, I almost want to say it's a good thing, but I don't like, the idea of animators getting overworked and productions falling apart because there's just not enough people to work in the industry, but we need more anime because it's the bubble's still growing, and it's gonna pop, and it's gonna be bad, but so like that's I don't know how much industry like how much is Crunchyroll like contributing to that by giving more of a market for anime for it to increase in size, right? Like, is that helping or is it hurting? Like, on one hand, I'm sure a lot of creators are really glad to have lots of other people engaging with their works and getting what they want to, hearing what they want to say, right? Like, it's not a binary, like, black or white matter. It's there's a lot going on. And so, like, I don't know how much Crunchyroll is helping or hurting, right?
Like, I guess, like, really the big thing is I understand people's problems, because it's like, if you get moral high grounded so hard for years that if you don't use this service, you are literally hurting the animation industry, and then you go and find out that realistically, the numbers that they're giving back to the anime industry are like way smaller, or like almost like I wouldn't say it's insignificant, but like it's like not marginally better than it was before. So it's
licenses are definitely like, and especially with more shows getting licensed, I do think that's overall like just looking at purely a monetary value, that's like a positive, right? Because a lot of these shows wouldn't have gotten translated and fully subbed, and in order for that to happen officially, licenses need to happen, right? But at the end of the day, also a lot of the revenue these series pulls in isn't just from licensing costs. It's a lot of it is merchandising, figures, like fucking One Piece bath salts. Like, there's just so much different.
Did you buy the ways. One Piece bath salts?
No, but I know they exist.
You should buy the Sanji ketchup bottle.
or the Sanji cookbook would actually be more like valuable. But yeah, like no, and big franchises obviously get more, but there's just it's there a lot of it is completely blocked off to the the West, and we are able to like import certain things, but it's cost prohibitive. So where you're in Japan, you can literally just go to a store and buy the thing, and
that's
it's
one of
be
those
way cheaper
foul things I've ever seen in my life. Hold on, is that real?
Yeah.
Is that fucking real? That's so foul.
I thought you guys knew about this.
That's so.
I
fucking...
didn't. That doesn't look real.
That's so foul. That's like, that's what the fuck.
Mostly the label doesn't look real.
It's coming out of his fucking, not even out of his nose. It looks like it's coming out of like a line that's been cut into his lip. That's disgusting.
I would buy
that looks
one.
Awful. What the fuck?
I mean, the worst part of the image is that the ketchup is going
I
onto
like
the
how
waffles.
it's designed to make as much of a mess as possible.
I don't like
just...
anything about the design of it. I think like I just, the more I look at it, the worse it gets. Like, oh my god.
What would be like? One Piece is going down to a 7.
Wait, are those fucking waffles? I was like,
I pointed
thought-
that out.
They look like waffles. You're right.
You know what? Okay,
They're definitely
I've changed my
waffles.
stance. Overwork more animators. Fuck animation. One Piece
look at
sucks.
the hand. That has to be fake. Look at the hand. That has to be fake.
It has to be fake because no one would put their fucking phalanges onto a fucking
they
bottle
have to have
like that.
gotten that Sanji head from something else. That's not real. That is I refuse to believe. Someone post a link to an actual website. I had refused to believe it's real until I see.
I mean, maybe it's not.
Look at the hand and tell me that's real. That's a white person's hand for starters.
Craftsdwarf would be able to identify a white hand. So like, it's like fucking. I get it, right? I understand the whole like why like again. You have to understand that like from the years between like and still to now, but especially the years when Crunchyroll was like sponsoring YouTubers, right, to get them to shill it real hard, right? Like the period of like.
By the way, if you'd like to support Crunchyroll, you can do so at crunchyroll.com/Weeb Club. You get a fucking $5. We get $5 for it if you subscribe.
Man, it's sad that they don't do that anymore because I would totally turn to a shill just for the.
We should just get Toolman
to
say to ask for Crunchyroll to sponsor us.
Say Crunchyroll
like
for
1,000
an hour.
times. Yeah.
God, 2015. The period from 2015 to 2018 was wild, right? That was like because that was like the peak of when YouTubers were shilling the fuck out of Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll's PR literally harassed you if you like I remember one time someone. Okay, this is like an example, right? Somebody on fucking Twitter said something like, "Oh yeah, it was it was like okay, it was just him. He wasn't quoting anybody, but he did literally quote anyone who fucking like breathe negatively about Crunchyroll or mention they fucking torrent, even though
Miles definitely like made Crunchyroll look really bad.
Oh,
and, like as far as I can remember, he's like
what I don't know what was gonna say or go
no,
on. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, none finished because the example I remember is so funny.
As far as I can remember, he's like one of the only people working at Crunchyroll who like responds that much. So it's just kind of like unfortunate that like he definitely paints the picture because he's like
anyone else.
Yeah.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah,
like
and,
if it wasn't for him talking
like,
so
negative.
much,
like
things would look a lot better. Like it's just literally him for the most part.
Like I had like 300 followers, and I was one of the fucking people like he actively responded to. Like the fucking man was crazy. So like he made this tweet one day. It was like, if you use the Japanese names of anime, you're a pirate. And I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? What the fuck? I use my anime list. I just fucking.
A lot of database sites use actually my anime list is a little inconsistent because like they'll still use some titles that aren't the original Japanese.
It depends on what you set. You have your settings
Neon
set to.
Genesis. No, really? Okay, because I noticed I feel like most it's like 99% in all Japanese, and then like some of it isn't. But yeah, no, a lot of database sites will use the original Japanese titles just because like that's the most objective way to do it, because they're not consistent a lot sometimes, because like if a fan translated title gets an official translation, there's two different English, like a good example is Hoshino Samadare or Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. The English fan translated title isn't anything like the original Japanese title, right? But that's the one people use to talk about it, and if it got officially licensed, then they'd probably do something more faithful. Samidara's World, something more faithful, right? So they just use a Japanese title, so there's no question about it, right? It makes sense. Because they don't want to be beholden to websites like Crunchyroll.
If you fucking use the name it was like a meme, I was like, fellas, if you say Boku no Hero Academia, you should be fucking arrested because you fucking steal anime. And I was like, you're fucking losing your mind. And it would literally be on like accounts that have like 5 followers that just say, oh, I don't use Crunchyroll, I torrent. You'd find this man fucking mouth breathing in the replies. Like, what the fuck, dude? You're the PR person. Why are you doing this? So like, Crunchyroll's PR is definitely the worst thing about them, because the moral high grounding, the fact that their PR person for literally 5 years was a fucking like, was an anti-Twitter user. And now we have High Guardian Spice, this fucking show where the first fucking thing we ever knew about it was just concept art and people talking about how cool it is without telling us what it was.
Yeah,
and
I don't even think it'd be like, oh, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, now fucking 3 years later, because 100% the reason why they didn't go through with the announcement was like with like more details was because everybody fucking shat on it the first time. Either that, or considering the recent announcement that Crunchyroll's like animation studio or whatever got shut down or something like that. There was a report that ⁃ᵃᵗ made. ⁃ᵃᵗ made this tweet about how like the studio behind Crunchyroll Originals is like shutting down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Sad.
What were we gonna say, Nunmanji?
I was gonna say that, like, you know, the initial video they put out, I don't think it'd be bad to like come out eventually, but like as the first reveal for something, it definitely wasn't like something that would make people super interested. Like, I feel like if they put out the video they did now, it'd be better. Like if they just waited until they could at least put out a trailer that's at least somewhat similar to what they have now, it would be like a better first impression. Like, this one feels like what you show first and then you get more details later.
I just feel like when it comes to Crunchyroll especially, the community has like, because they have such a bad reputation they made for themselves and the way they talked about it, is that like it becomes so muddled that like it just, the most vitriolic stuff comes out on top, where it's like people were saying, oh, the biggest problem is that the person who wrote it is a mega feminist. You know, the biggest problem is this, and I was like, the biggest problem is really just that they gave us a shit trailer and then expected it gave us a shit trailer for original anime when their whole meme is that they're funding the anime industry. That's the whole problem. Like, there's nothing beyond that, really. And then now we get it, and the fucking plot of it is, oh, my mom was a big, important person with pink hair, and I, girl with pink color features, am using my magical powers with my group of friends with other assorted color themed things to fight evil. And I'm like,
Ruby.
Steve, you know what's weird, Craftsdwarf?
I mean, if you didn't say color themed, I wouldn't have said anything.
No, I'm just realizing this because you said that. Isn't it weird that when people do their first like anime inspired thing, it's always just like specifically the mom is like does something crazy, and then assorted color themed members fight or go to school, like,
or both.
Yeah, or in Steven Universe's case, hang out in a fucking beach house and fight like what are essentially like mind broken people, as you'll find out.
Real quick, I want to make a correction, because actually Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer did get officially released, and it was under that title. Though I will say, like, I assume that is for, like, I guess because one thing that I have known to happen is like, yeah, English fan translations do kind of like affect, you know, search databases and stuff. Like if you wanted to find an English release, like I think that's why they use that fan translated name for recognition, basically, because if you saw Samidara's World, then you might not recognize it, but if you saw Lucifer's Viscount,
I never even heard of that name until you like said it.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that name just makes more sense for what the manga is, because if you know the premise and have read it, like, you know exactly what I mean, because she wants the world. Hoshi no Samadare. But Lucifer and the Viscahammer, I guess they decided it was catchier, the fans who were translating it, and that's what caught on. It's a really well-liked manga. And so, another instance of that happening was during one of the seasons of Gundam, I believe, where one of the characters was fan-translated as Stella. And then later on in the show, there was an official English romanization in the show, and her name was Stellar, with an R at the end. And maybe I don't know the context behind it, but, you know, now Stella is the name of that character in English, because that was just the fan base at the time, and that's what caught on, and that's what stuck, even if it wasn't really what represented the show. That was, you know, and as it was being translated as it came out. So, like, sometimes that just happens in English, where, you know, so I just wanted to give that as a correction, because I didn't know that it was officially released. But anyway, back to
shitting on Crunchyroll and their fucking
like I mean, that's the thing, is like Crunchyroll is way more interesting as a topic than High Guardian Spice, but like, you know,
it's a lead-in, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess the one thing I will say about like our High Guardian Spice is that, like, you know, I don't think it's a bad thing that it's like Steven Universe in a sense, because like, at least from the trailer, the amount of which that's like Steven Universe is like, you know, it's about as much as that you could say like, oh, Black Clover's like Naruto. Like, I don't think it's like a problem or anything.
Excuse me.
It's like,
listen.
Yes.
Black Clover is about black people. And Naruto, there's only one village with black people. Excuse me.
Okay.
I'll just kill myself. Hold on.
But like, I think High Guardian Spice like definitely has this.
Crash your safe, only. He wants me dead.
I think it generally has this like, I don't know, this like aesthetic that like certain newer like Western shows really like, and I feel like, you know, if someone watches like Steven Universe and She-Ra and like they keep up with a lot of these things, I feel like it could be like interesting and neat for them to check out this kind of thing, like as another work within this, like, I guess progressing and kind of newish, I don't know, these new style of cartoons. It could be interesting to someone, because you know, we all like battle shonen, and I guess, you know, that could be considered like a certain kind of story, and I think these kinds of stories have their own category. I wouldn't know what to describe that as, but you know, I do think it could be interesting to look at.
Right. No, because what you reminded me of is I remember on one of some Ruby soundtrack or song, I remember in the comments someone said something like, some people don't consider Ruby to be anime, but I do, you know, feel grateful for the show for getting me into anime. And obviously, like, yeah, I don't consider Ruby anime because it's an American-made production. Even though it's obviously very anime influenced, and High Guardian Spice seems very much in that category with shows like, yeah, She-Ra, Steven Universe, right, where American productions that are very anime influenced. And I think the problem is that High Guardian Spice isn't for anime fans. It is for people who like maybe know about anime and maybe like can use it as a gateway into anime. But they're marketing it to anime fans.
I almost feel like High Guardian Spice would be like, it would do really well on like TV, but like, I guess
I have a better chance.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I've seen shows that are doing that general thing on TV that people really like and like have, like, I just feel like where it is, and like, yeah, as you said, who they're marketing towards, it makes it look worse and like seem like super, I guess, derivative, because they're like they're almost trying to make it viewed as an anime when you shouldn't.
Right, like they're trying to sell it to people who have seen this shit before, who probably know some of these like some people, you know, watching these shows know like the tropes that they're using better, maybe better than the people who are writing them, because the people writing them maybe haven't watched like all the shows that they like, that they're just sticking way too close, or they're not being brave enough. They're trying to be too close, right? Where if this show was on American television, it would be way more like alien and foreign and different in ways that might be really cool or interesting to a watcher who isn't as familiar with anime, which is just like, yeah, it's marketed to the wrong audience. It is not for anime fans. It is for like, yeah, the same people who like Steven Universe and She-Ra and those kinds of shows are more likely to like this show than anime fans, right?
Yeah, like
Ruby,
I don't think
right?
it like has to be on TV to be successful, but I do feel like it is one way that it could like not have this kind of expectations that people have out of it, because it is more like a cartoon than an anime. But like Crunchyroll, I guess in the way they talk about it, it seems like they have this idea of like, we're making anime, but they're not.
Like, I think the big thing, right, is that, like, it makes sense for Netflix to put out different types of original animation, because Netflix has a wider berth of what it can do as what it markets itself as. It hasn't pigeonholed itself into one medium. It just does, media. So, like, a Netflix original or a Hulu original or a Disney Plus original series, right, that it could be anything, any medium, right, because their branding is just the brand name. Crunchyroll.
Well, yeah, they're I was gonna say, because like especially Netflix, like their marketing is, hey, did you like this show? Try these, right? So if you do like if you watch, if you go to Netflix and you watch like Seven Deadly Sins or She-Ra or whatever, Voltron, both of those can be like, hey,
Gross
maybe you like High
Voltron.
Guardian Spice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, or the new one, obviously, but right. So, but Crunchyroll doesn't really have that, because it's like, you're here for fucking anime. You don't want this cartoon. So there's nothing like, hey, you like Boruto? Watch High Guardian Spice. No, I don't want. I want One Piece or Gintama or fucking some Hunter x Hunter, some cool ass fucking battle shonen, not High Guardian Spice.
I thought I
And
saw
even
some
if-
comment joking that like they did this because they're mad that Netflix got the rights to Little Witch Academia.
Craft said he wants Gintama.
Gintama, dude, listen, my favorite Gintama character is Gachi Gorilla. But
You know what would have avoided? Damn it! I was gonna make a joke about how, like, you know what Crunchyroll could have done to avoid all this controversy is just fund the Roboco anime. We know it's gonna happen.
They could have, but
It
they're
could have
too
just
afraid.
been like fucking 5-minute shorts, and they
It would
already
be
have it.
it would be
to
too
adapt.
hard.
It's not without reason.
It would be too hard to hire Kanye and Don Cheadle onto their cast. It would be too difficult for them, right? So like, they already
Look,
know there's an
if
element there,
Roboco
so-
actually gets an adaptation and Kanye West actually ends up voicing on it, the simulation is broken, and I'm going to actually die.
Gotcha, gorilla. God. Oh my god. Okay, but like fucking it's so like Crunchyroll is at the end of the day it markets itself as an anime streaming service that is made to fund the anime industry. It's the number one way to support the anime industry according to them. Like, even the whole meme is like, oh, Netflix doesn't give as much money as we do. If you watch Netflix, you're not supporting the anime industry. Something that that was said a couple of kilometers back. And like it's so fucking like that was the biggest thing, is that they then turn around and make what is essentially Steven Universe looking ass thing on an anime streaming service. And it's like, and it's not benefiting an anime industry, an anime company or an animation studio, because and a Japanese animation studio, because it's not. It's being made in fucking like California.
Mm-hmm. Right, it is a cartoon that is anime influenced, right? But and I will say about the money towards the like, maybe, yeah, Crunchyroll is more buying more, licensing more shows, and that ends like ultimately. But like Netflix is still like Netflix is licensing big shows too. So you have to consider that, because like the license of some fucking D-side seasonal shit that no one's gonna give a shit about. That isn't as much as licensing fucking Seven Deadly Sins or Beastars or Eden Zero, right? Like, those are notable, like, shows, right? So they're gonna be more expensive licenses. So you know, like, okay, that's a pretty bold assumption to just throw out there.
Listen,
anyway,
if you support, I think the funniest shit I ever heard was like, if you support Netflix, you're supporting piracy, and I was like, what does that even mean? Like, what?
I refuse to believe that's real.
That's
There's
real.
no way.
That's something that he said it. And I think that was an argument made by other anti-tubers, right? Was that if you support Netflix, you support piracy, because
that's so stupid.
Because the way Netflix releases the anime, it's like it forces people to pirate.
Oh,
I mean,
that's dumb.
like, it's like, I don't know about you, but my ass was able to wait for fucking *ᵃᵗ*' to fucking go up on Netflix.
I was pirating either way. Suck my ass.
Excuse me.
Even when I had Netflix.
I want to be able to go here on the Weeb Club podcast and be like, this episode was sponsored by Crunchyroll. Support the anime industry the only way you can.
Kick Craftsdwarf out of the pirate, that One Piece fan, and his
one thing that if I'm not mistaken, I think Netflix does like way better than like Crunchyroll's like having the subs for like all those different languages, and like you can get access to them a lot easier than you can on Crunchyroll. If I'm not
Netflix's
mistaken.
UI is just better than listen, right? Crunchyroll's fucking video player for years was the fucking Java player, right? And like, it's so fucking sad, you know. I mean, like, you know, Netflix. You know, on Netflix, I can always just watch this, and like, I don't know, like, wait, I didn't mean to send that. I didn't mean to. Fuck. Wait. Fuck.
Why are you so horny?
Huh? I'm not horny. What are you talking about? I'm not a furry either. Stop accusing me of things. Stop it. Don't accuse me of anything.
I get it. You want to spit up her hairballs.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of the Weeb Club. This episode, Vindy was gone, and now the next episode, I'll be gone.
All right, maybe we should drop this subject and move on.
So here's the oh shit. Okay, I'm making a fucking mess. It's hard to do this while filming. Here's the Space Jam cereal. You can see he's got LeBron on the front, LeBron on the back, Lola Bunny on the back. No Lola on the front. Kind of cringe. I'm gonna have to clean that up later. Fucking hell. Alright, so let's pour it in the bowl. Let's look at it. Alright. As you can see, there's little marshmallow basketballs, marshmallow Bugs Bunny. It's here as well. So let's put some milk in, fire this bitch up. Okay, let's make sure I don't fucking spill anything else. There we go, that's good. Alright. Put that in the fridge. Alright. See how this tastes. I don't even have a I don't have a table right now, so I'm gonna have to eat this standing up.
Drop Crunchyroll.
The weekly roundup.
Should we? Because, like, are we
What
going
was
to talk
talking about something?
Oh shit, ⁃ᵃᵗ.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is also on Netflix. Crunchyroll, which it's sponsored by Crunchyroll, guys. Oh my. Okay, I don't even know why I still pay attention. By the way, like in my server that I barely go, and I went and saw that someone fucking tweeted about how like it was like, ⁃ᵃᵗ, like the apparently the mangaka said that the reason why they made the series like that is because he was like, hey, when I watched the end of ⁃ᵃⵗ, I was sad for all the ones that didn't get to fucking win. So like, what if we made a series where like everybody wins and everybody's happy, right?
Is that real?
Okay.
That's real. That's what the mangaka said.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, that's interesting, I guess.
Well, like, cause he's not doing it in a like you know, like what's the fucking we never learn wait, he's like literally like making that a part of the conflict, right? Where, you know, harem ending is getting that is the conflict, and that's cool.
Yeah, I was thinking about the other day,
going,
like, I mean, not the other day, but like earlier, about like how the series is gonna end because I really don't know. But I guess with that quote, it just kind of seems like they are gonna, have him at least be with multiple.
I think it's a more admirable approach to just right out the gate be like, this is a series where he like, it's like, I understand the whole meme, right? Of like, because I don't necessarily agree that I'm here, like I'm one of these fucking mongoloids who's like, harem series are about, it's a horse race and to bet on who wins. Because I legitimately think if you watch a harem series and you're so mentally deficient you can't find out who's gonna win, you need to fucking go back to grade school. But like,
well, like even if you like, obviously in some cases like Nisekoi, it's like okay, it's kind of, like at the very least it's between these two, and there's really not a lot of other options.
At the very least,
right?
he should be able to narrow it down.
I would say that one of the only exceptions, like quintuplets, you could legitimately not tell who was gonna win by the end.
I mean, I was reading it as it came out, and I wouldn't have been able to tell you who won in The World God Only Knows, But I
that
like,
too.
But because there's just so many girls, like at that point, it's like. But then I feel like if it ends and the character who the main character ends up with, like it should make the most sense at the very least, right? Even if you can't like predict it from early on, like you certainly can in a lot of cases. You should be. It should make the most sense when at the end of the day, right? Like even Ichigo 100%, we can say like the ending makes sense, right?
Good manga.
Sorry. Craftsdwarf, I can do a
Satsuki made more sense, actually. I changed my mind.
Craftsdwarf, can we kick this fucking man off the podcast, actually? Please, I'm begging you. Can we fucking remove him from this fucking podcast? Not him. Not Craftsdwarf.
Hey,
I do not want to remove Craftsdwarf from the podcast. This is the opposite of what I wanted, actually being left alone with you after what you fucking said to me. Those words you fucking drooled out of your fucking dribbly ass mouth. You fucking monster. You fucking horrible human being. Don't ever fucking say some shit like Ichigo 100% is good, you fucking piece of...
And this is why you can't understand.
I literally didn't say that. I just said that the
Not
ending
you,
girl...
You're so wrapped up.
Why did you leave me here with the person I wanted gone?
Well, everyone look, if you... Like, it's funny, because Blue Knight said something about how, like, I feel like Craftsdwarf is the only one who hasn't made a joke about leaving the podcast. But the fact of the matter is that I'm the one people want here the least.
No, that's not true.
That's not true.
Everybody wants
also,
me
you
to
have made... You don't do it as much, but I do think you have made, like, 2 or so leaving the podcast jokes.
Yeah,
at least in the chat.
Twice.
Maybe not in the episodes. I'm not sure.
I just want to leave life at this point.
I definitely don't make like what 100% makes him the most often. After that, I would say it's Vindy, and then Nunmanji says it, but unironically.
Huh?
Anyway, Kanojo mo Kanojo.
Kanojo mo Kanojo is a series made for crackheads, starring crackheads, and like, Jesus Christ, the show. What the fuck? Like, see, that's what I'm talking about, right? Where I respect the approach of, like, the mangaka. If the mangaka's intent was that, like, they take this feeling of not wanting any of the girls to be let down, and, like, turning that into, like, the crux of the series. I understand, like, the way that he's executing it like this is actually really cool, because the whole reason why he doesn't want, like, the main character doesn't want, Milky to join the harem, is because he's like, I already am such a piece of shit that I'm cheating on both of you. I don't have faith in myself that I won't fall in love with her.
And I really love how it works out too, because like the part that gets me about the whole last part of the episode isn't just that Naoya is making Milky wet at every fucking other word out of his mouth is just turning her more and more on. But like Saki and Nagisa are there.
They know what's happening. They're like,
no, not this.
Like, cause Naoya's a dipshit. He doesn't get it. He doesn't realize what he's doing. That his Chad energy is so powerful, it is making her ovulate on the spot. But they get it because they also are wet right now, and they see it in her. Like, oh shit, her heart just skipped a beat because they know they've been there.
Like, I guess we should start from the beginning, right? It picks off like she's literally mastered the art of. She's watched some Eurocamp or something, and she's like fucking mastering camping outside. Fucking like, and they're like, please get off of my property. I swear to God, leave, please. And she's like, do that shit, and I'll fucking throw these hot coals to your fucking face. Don't you fucking
I will
dare.
fucking roast your ass.
And they're like, then like, Saki, and then they're like, it's probably mean to just kick her out, It's kind of fucked up. And he's like, I have no choice. If I've already two-timed once, what makes you think I'm not gonna do it again? I don't have faith in myself, right? And like, I love how it treats it like a fucking noble moment and like an epic moment, and then Saki just fucking punches him in the face. It's
I just didn't see it coming because it's like, wow, they're selling the moment, and then she just like fucking beats the shit out of him, and I'm like, oh, yep, there it is.
The music is actually fucking amazing. Like, Vindy's been saying it, but now that he's gone, I can say it and steal his point. But like, and the way it cuts off the moment, like this, it has this fucking epic anime OST playing, and then it just cuts off as she fucking armbars him. It's the funniest shit. And I love that their plan is like, okay, while she's going to go piss and shit over in the fucking convenience store, I'll distract her, and you two fucking sell her shit right now. Got it. That's the fucking plan. And Milky just fucking ruins his whole career. Just fucking breaks his shins and shit, leaves him bleeding in the street.
She cries that he's assaulting her, and he's like, I'll take the hit to reputation. And
oh my,
and he starts screaming about his like polygamy like there's tons of people around. He's like, I'm two-timing.
He kept telling everyone this episode.
It's so funny. He has such powerful integrity. He's like, I know what I did, and I'm going to own up to it. I'm not a coward.
The part that hurt me the most though was when her dad comes in, and he's like, what do you mean you're an e-thought? Well, the funniest part is that the way he just immediately finds her implies that he already knew about her but didn't recognize his own daughter, which is maybe a stretch, but I just find it really funny that he's like jacking off to some e-thought, and it's like, no!
None.
I had that scene.
And he's made this weird. He's made this weird.
No, I
made this
kind of
weird.
thought
I don't
about
want to
that.
be here.
The fact that he just knew that channel, like, almost immediately.
Like, he's a fucking
that shit
boomer.
way too fast.
How the fuck exactly? He had to have already known.
He probably follows Amaranth. He definitely follows Amaranth.
But the part that hurt me wasn't even that. It was when he was about to delete her channel, and I'm like, don't, because I don't know. I have a channel. I don't want it deleted. And she has a lot of followers, so it's like, no. But
I just love at all times.
He stopped him.
There's just some fucked up shit that they say about him, like, oh my god, he's a rapist, or like, oh my god, my daughter's an e-thought, and then fucking Naoya fucking just responds with this fucking like, and she's fucking. It's like, it's so funny because like that's the thing, right? Is that it's kind of like It's not doing this thing where it's like ooga booga deconstruction. This is what it'd be like if it was real. It's taking like the hyper perception of what a harem protagonist is, and just like fitting that into a person. Like what is like the only reason this type of thing would work is because the main character has so much integrity that like he makes them fall for him because of how much integrity he has, how much he's willing to do for these girls, even though he might not love them, like certain ones of them, and like he's kind of like the perfect encapsulation of that, and it works, and it's funny as fuck. The man's crazy. Actually, fuck it. Everyone in this show's fucking crazy. There's not a single sane person that I've seen part of the cast yet. Right?
See, well, I did see one page from later in the series, and it has to do with the silver-haired girl, because she has
so
all
hot.
the brain cells. She appears
Yeah,
to
she
have all the
definitely
brain
looks
cells.
like it.
And she's about to have all my sperm cells too, huh?
Oh shit! And she also, like, from what I saw, when she does find out, she seems super against it, which makes it interesting because if she also becomes part of the thing, like that's like the person who's most against it ends up becoming part of it. Like, I want to see how that goes. So And now that we're about done with Milky's stuff, I assume it's only going to be an episode or two before we start getting her.
Next episode there's more Milky stuff.
No, I mean, like I said, episode or two before we start getting more of this other girl who's in the opening. She's going to be in the show.
I want to drink a piss.
Okay.
Huh? Who said that? Like, it's fucking like it. Yeah, it's interesting to think about because like how many episodes? This is episode 5, right? Or
6.
am I high? 6.
6.
Yes, we're halfway through at the very least. So I think it's gonna be. It might be another Karekano situation where it's like we only get the Sumi episode like at the fucking last 2 episodes or something. I hope it's not that, and we get like at least a good 3 or 4 episodes of cute silver-haired lady voiced by Rie Takahashi, and it's God. I honestly just love the way like at the end of this episode how they handle like how he was like he would like get her out of here. She's cute, but get her out of here. And then the dad was like, I'm deleting your fucking channel. I'm deleting it. You can't be doing this. You can't be showing your tits. And he's like, stop it right there, sir. She might be on my fucking lawn and shit, but I admire her tenacity. It's a lot of work to be an e-thought on the internet. You know how much fucking money Amaranth had to spend on those hot tubs and the fucking setup she has? It's a lot of money and a lot of hard work, and I've seen it. I'm not in love with her, but I need her out. But, you can't delete her channel. I will defend her with my life. And she's like, holy shit, this guy's so fucking hot. Holy shit. And the entire time,
Saki and Nagisa are like, no!
They're providing
she's falling in love
commentary.
with him.
They're like, it's funny in the way like it handles like these, because there's always like these moments where it's like, they're like, it's like Saki and Nagisa are like, one character is like always playing like having like the real reaction, because they're like, this isn't happening, is it? They're not. He's not. No. No. Like Saki was like, she's totally in love with him, isn't she? And Nagisa's like, right? You think so too? And the fucking panic and fear they both have in their voices as it goes on, and then finally when the Sakura the Blossoms show up and the whole screen turns pink, and you just hear Saki and Nagisa screaming like, no.
It was so good.
Man.
I also kind of like how like you can tell that the dad's like also an idiot because he's just like
what led you to believe that?
I like how he seems like he would almost even accept if Milky wanted to be with Naoya, like by the way he's talking, and it's just like some of the most insane things he's saying.
Everybody in this
like,
show physically assaults each other, and nobody's bothered by it.
He was like, it's one thing if you were with this 2-timing guy, but this channel, that's too much.
Showing your tits is gross.
Being in
polygamy?
a fucking yeah, it's like that,
I guess.
How am I? Jesus Christ, you're right.
This
I didn't think about
show.
that.
This show's for crackheads, made by crackheads for crackheads, starring crackheads. I need one normal person in the show, please.
We get it. You want to drink her piss?
Huh?
The normal
I never
person.
said such a thing.
You literally did.
No.
I'm flashing back to it right now.
I want to drink her piss. You don't have you wouldn't edit that much.
Last week shows differently.
Yeah, somebody said
Did
somebody complimented.
Did you not see how I ended the last episode?
You're cringe.
It's so funny. You hate me.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it either.
I'm hated.
I haven't watched Weeb Club episodes.
I just
Why
if
would
I'm
I
being
do that?
honest,
That's
Craftsdwarf,
fair.
I didn't want to hear the rap discussion part of that podcast. So that's why I stopped watching.
Let me explain what happens, because like What was like singing for like a full minute. The other 3 of us had stopped recording, and then pauses for like 5 seconds. He was like, "Did we stop recording?" And then I played the ending. I kept the whole pause. I kept the singing. As it was happening, the other three of us like faded out slowly, so it's just What alone in the club room. You go watch it. It's funny.
Hold on, I'll be back. Oh my god. No, yeah. ⁃ᵃ is made by crackheads.
Yeah, it's a good show. Looking forward to next episode. Vindy will probably talk about what he thought about this episode, because I'm sure he'll like. This was the best episode in a little while. I feel like, not that the last episodes weren't good, but this one was just really good. Like the commentary especially just made it. But anyway, I'm about done with the discussion for ⁃ᵃ.
Yeah. Huh? Sorry.
Epic.
Huh? Cute
Sounds like
silver-haired
we're all
girl
done.
voiced by Takahashi Rie. Hold on.
None. Please go.
Yes.
So what?
What the heck? It's so rude. I just want to get huh?
You didn't even say
Weekly roundup,
anything.
please.
Okay. So I finished recently Recovery of an MMO Junkie, which is like
Yeah.
Oh,
We're watching that.
the one made by a Nazi?
I
Whatever that was.
I don't remember what that was about, and I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just like it's so good. Like I enjoyed it way more than I was expecting, just because it's like both the
Explain
main
the premise
like
real quick.
okay, so the premise is just that like this 30s like this lady in her 30s decides to just become a neat, not like because she's like unsuccessful or anything, but like she just decides that she's just done with her job and that she just wants to play MMOs. And she even has this like she feels this like superiority about it. Like she's like, unlike these other people, I chose this life. Like it's not that like she had no other choice, or that she couldn't be, because she was successful in her job and she was like well paid, but like she just decided she doesn't want to, and so like she just plays MMOs, and she meets people through the MMOs, and she just has a whole separate life within the MMO that she later on interacts with her real life. But that's kind of like the premise of the show, that it's just like she gets to live this separate identity between MMOs and real life, and she gets friends there who help her out in her real life, and like she's one of the main characters, but then like there's the other guy who she meets in the MMO, who plays he plays a female character there, and she plays a male character there. And I think that like a lot of what happens in the show is just kind of like the two of them just being kind of like super dumb, like when they meet each other in the game, they're both kind of embarrassed that they play different genders than what they are in real life. So like when they eventually like meet each other in real life by chance, and one of them figures it out, like Sakura, which is the guy, he figures it out, but he's too embarrassed to like to tell her, because when they talk in the game, she talks about her real life, and she basically ends up indicating what happened to her in a way that like that's clearly him who she's talking about. And like I don't know, like it's like I just thought it was like super cool in that sense, that it's like all these people who are playing this MMO just happen to be in the same like area, and in the game they get closer, but in real life they get closer, but like they both don't know they don't know that like most of them aren't aware of what's going on until like close to the end of the show. And I think it's super it was just super cute to see them like realize in the end who everyone is, and like they're just like, I don't know, it was a fun show.
There are lollies in it?
I mean, yes, but the lolly is
Oh.
played by the guy.
Oh.
But I mean, the way he acts in the game
It's been
is
a
like,
long day.
I mean, the way they act in the game is like super cute. So it's, I mean, you can enjoy that. I don't know.
Are there any moments that you like that you can say without spoiling too much? But I don't know. I mean, you already kind of explained what I thought would have like been a spoil. Maybe it's introduced earlier, where the fact that like they know each other in real life, and are
It's
playing,
pretty
like,
early.
the
Like
first bit of the game, but-
it's pretty clear who is who in the game, and like what's going on. It's just like the main thing around it is them being able to tell each other, and they grow closer in real life and in the game, but they feel like the truth, is still gonna ruin things, even though they are technically close in real life and in the game. So realistically, it shouldn't, but they just feel like really weird about it and like have these, they kind of assume that the other person will assume the worst and kind of be turned off by that. And I guess like moments that I liked were just like a lot of them towards the end where, the main character keeps meeting people in real life and she, it like shift, like a lot of the earlier episodes are just in the MMO, but like eventually, it shifts to having both real life and like MMO stuff. So it's like, I really liked how the later episodes felt.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really good.
Neat.
I liked it a lot.
See, that was always one of those shows that, like, seasonal shows that it aired, people talked about it, and I was like, maybe I'll watch it, and I just kind of never did. So cool. Good to know that you liked it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to at least read it or watch it. I just haven't, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at some stuff right now. I'm just looking. I'm sorry, I was distracted. I don't know what I was looking at.
I can guess, but go. It's your turn. It's your fucking turn.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Oh, so unfortunate that Vindy's not here, and because
what does that have to do with anything?
Music. I talk about because one of the only things I finished this week was music, and I could talk about the fact that I listened through like Too Short, like E40 and Mac Dre's like first few albums, and I thought it was interesting listening to like how like the Bay Area and Northern California, like how California is like rap sound, like the rappers in that like during that time like split off and like the sound changed. But that wasn't as interesting as like when I went and listened to an album called The Adventures of Bobby Ray by a rapper named B.O.B. or Bob. B.O.B. or Bob. If you don't remember who he is, the only reason I got interested in listening to it again is because airplanes is a meme again. Airplane. Fucking, can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Mordecai and Twilight Sparkle. Like, the fucking, this shit, right? The fucking, this image, right? So like, haha, funny. And so airplanes is a thing. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll listen to airplanes. And then I listened to, because I know there's two versions. There's the original Airplanes, and then in the album, there's an Airplanes Part 2, where Eminem's in there. And Eminem's verse is, like, better than the entirety of, like, everything else that was in the song.
Sad.
So I was like, okay, I'll listen to this. And I don't know, like, how the fuck this man made one of the whitest albums ever made. The man sold his melanin just for the taste of a chart topper, because like this is like here's the thing, it's like, have you ever heard that song Magic? I got the magic in me. Have you ever fucking heard that song?
No.
Like, oh my god, you're so old. But like fucking that song, right? I didn't even know this, who the fuck Rivers Cuomo is. That's the fucking singer for Weezer. And like, if you try to listen to that song and like fucking, it is one of the widest songs I've ever heard in my life. They fucking perform that shit in Pitch Perfect, and it somehow sounds less white in Pitch Perfect. That's hard to do. I don't fucking like, I don't understand. And so like, I was listening through it, and it the first half of this fucking album is nothing but like, clean songs, no cursing, because it's easier to get that on the radio if there's no cursing. And then the second half is like explicit songs, and like I don't even understand how this man has a T.I. feature on the song, and it sounds like it's a T.I. song featuring B.O.B. I didn't even know that song Nothing on You was a fucking B.O.B. song. I forgot it was, because I thought it was a Bruno Mars song featuring B.O.B. This man sounds like a feature on his own album. It's the fucking weirdest thing. And then, like, just every single one of these songs is like the things I would hear at like my middle school fucking like the middle school dances and shit. It has such a middle school dance energy that it's like middle school white people energy. Like this is like during the era of like the first Bruno Mars album where like Bruno Mars made nothing but simp white people music before his gimmick became doing nostalgia but good. And like it was just the weirdest experience because the only thing aside from this, like B.O.B. never made that like a successful song after that. And then like the only thing I knew was that he was a flat earther for views for a little bit. Now he has a podcast and just it is just, I don't know. The most notable thing that B.O.B. ever did in his career was inspire this fucking meme. This fucking terrible fucking... Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Because I really need a wish right now. They really need a wish. It's very unfortunate. But yeah, that's what I did. Go ahead, Craftsdwarf.
That's so sad. So I'm not remotely finished with this game. In fact, I just started it, but I kind of want to like talk about my initial thoughts, and then like later when I finish it, I want to talk about sort of how I feel when I finish it. So I started playing ⁃ᵗ Last Recode, which is a remake of a trilogy of PS2 games that are, I say trilogy, but really they're the same game, or they're different volumes of the same game rather. So the remake kind of compiles them all into one and then adds a fourth volume. So I'm like 5 hours into volume 1, which is estimated to be about 20 hours long. It's like a fucking 70-hour JRPG. And I'm like, okay. But it's also in the ⁃ᵗ franchise, so it's, I just thought it was funny that Nun is also talking about something that's not an MMO, but is related to MMOs, and I'm also playing something that's not an MMO, but related to MMOs, because it's, like, probably the most interesting thing about the game is that, like, it's a single-player RPG that takes place in, like, you're playing a player who's playing an MMO that's also populated by other players who are also playing a video game. And like that's very much so basically the first thing that happens is you do the tutorial and the guys who help you are actually player killers and they kill you. They kill your main character ⁉ᵃ.
Oh my god. Fucking
And
death a fucking death gun.
Yeah, well, see, no. I'll get to that. Well, so basically what happens is ⁉ᵃ, then you time skip 8 months. ⁉ᵃ is no longer level 1 fuckboy. He is a level 133 player killer, the terror of death, ⁉ᵃ.
Oh god, he's the black swordsman.
So he's like, basically what happened is because his first interaction with the game was being player killed, he became a solo player. He didn't interact with other people in the game, and he mostly just like, look, it actually, like, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's going in a good direction with it. I just think it's like. So, okay, fine. You're the one making the ⁉ᵃ comparison, so I'm not going to say they weren't in my brain. This is what ⁉ᵃ looks like, by the way.
He's a twink?
Well, it's like the black. He's got Sasuke's haircut. I forget who his Japanese voice actor is. For some reason, even though I'm listening to the Japanese audio, I know recognize the voice. I just can't place the name. But his English voice actor is Yuri Lowenthal, who plays Sasuke in the Naruto dub. And, like, he's a giant fucking edgelord, and it's so funny. And my biggest thing I was finding amusing was just think about how, like, Kirito, his favorite game franchise is probably ⁃ᵃ, because he just, like, ⁉ᵃ, he uses 2 swords, he wears black, he's the terror of death, he is edgy as fuck. Kirito loves that shit. He's like, ⁉ᵃ's a gamer, just like me. Like, Kirito loves this fucking game, okay? Like, he played ⁉ᵃ in 2025. This game came out in 2017. Kirito's played this game, okay? I'm just saying. And he's just like me. Okay, it's just really funny to think about that. Because, like, well, but really the character arc, how it's going, is because basically what happens is, so yeah, he's level 133. He fights a dude who kills him, and something's weird about him, and ⁉ᵃ gets dropped back down to level 1 again. But like the first volume is even called Rebirth, which is, you know, kind of calling attention to the fact that, you know, like, and sort of what he's doing, or what's happening now that he's level 1 is he's interacting with these other players more as he's, you know, trying to, you know, he's trying to investigate what the fuck's going on. It's, if you've touched any .hack, like, even though it takes place in a video game, there's weird shit going on that is almost like supernatural or fantasy. Like, it's, you know, outside of what the confines of what a normal game would be. And sort of by, you know, being dropped back down to level 1, he's sort of re-experiencing the game with other people who, like, have different, like, he meets some people in a guild who their whole thing is helping new players. So he's getting a fresh experience with the game with people who are, like, trying to, like, he's being an edgy shitlord, and but they're trying to help him, and they're nice boys. Well, one of them is, like, this disgusting, I hate this design. It's gross. Get it away from me.
What is that?
I hate it. I hate it.
What is that?
I fucking hate it. This is honestly, like, I just generally don't like the aesthetic of the game, like a lot of the costumes, and it just, like, oh, okay, here's the thing, is I'm playing a remake of a PS2 game. Now, I'll explain why I think this might, there's a slight chance it could get better as I go into the later volumes, but it very much shows that it is a remake of a PS2 game. Like, the controls are kind of janky, the gameplay at the point I'm at early in the story is pretty simple and easy and kind of boring. Like, it's mostly just hitting the A button and sometimes holding the A button to do more powerful attacks. Actually, usually that. And
Unlucky.
The gameplay's not very good. You know, like your character accelerates so fast, like the movement is just wonky and janky. And it just doesn't even look that good for its game that came out in 2017. It looks like an Xbox 360 game or a PS3 game that's which it's remaking a PS2 game. So I'd expect the jump to be a little better. However, as I understand it, because the game was released in a trilogy, like, they basically used, like, in-game updates to the MMO as, like, an in-universe explanation for gameplay and, like, changes from, like, version to, because there was a release gap in between the different games of the original PS2, because it was released as three separate full games. If they use that and, like, improve the graphics and the gameplay as I advance in volumes, that will be really cool. I don't know if that will happen. I've just been told that's something that happens throughout the games. And because I'm playing this game because I was recommended to by one of my best friends years ago. I literally bought it years ago, and I only just got around to playing it. But yeah, anyway, so you know, I mean, honestly, my real biggest problem with the game so far is that I feel like about 50% of my time in game has probably been cutscenes or moving around between cutscenes. And I've been playing it for maybe like 25% of the game, actual, like, in the dungeon, like, doing combat and stuff part of the game. And even then, if I'm doing a story mission, I'm still getting a cutscene every like 2 encounters. So I'm just like, can I play the fucking game, please? Like, it's one of those. So just warning if anyone has it and hasn't played it yet or wants to try it. But yeah, I'm kind of liking where at least the main character arc, Haseo's arc, is going, because aside from the 2 guys in the guild who are, like, helping him out, there's, like, another girl he's talking to, and she, like, doesn't care about, like, the PvP element or even leveling up and stuff. She just likes the setting and, like, the world building. Like, she's the mission I just went on, she's literally, like, stopping to explain, like, the world and setting, and Haseo's being a dumb edgelord where he's like, it doesn't matter, it's just a fucking video game. All that matters is, like, leveling up and killing people and getting experience points. And she's like, that's stupid. And so, you know, I see where it's going. Like, he's gonna stop being as much of a fucking edgelord, because, like, he's definitely shown that capacity. He's just like, he's, like I said, he's Kirito's favorite character. Like, Kirito didn't even need to pick the black outfit, he was already wearing it. So I don't know. So it's like, it's weird, because especially, like, the first time I turned on the game, I really wasn't enjoying it because it was mostly cutscene. But it's starting to grow on me, and I kind of don't know what's going to happen when I finish it, because it's really fucking long, but hopefully I like it, so yeah. Wait, actually, real quick, I do want back to the coolest part, because, like, yeah, he's playing a game. There's also a whole feature where it's like you log out of the game and you can, like, browse the internet with the in-game, like, you can see news, or you can go onto forums and learn things about the game. Like, it very much kind of emulates that, like, community aspect which is an interesting way to like give information and world building by just like having these like info dumps, and like you can go to check the news and read articles or go on these forums, and even have limited responses on forums. Like I found one whole subquest thing because one guy was like, I found a chest that I couldn't open, and so I have my character like, well, where was that chest? And he's like, in this area. And so I went to the area and I found a whole subquest thing with some weird NPC that wants to sacrifice me to a dark god. Whatever, I don't know what's going on. I just did the first one. So I don't know. I think that's probably the most interesting aspect about the game is the online, the fake online part of it, and sort of how that works for the the narrative. But I don't know. Curious as to see what happens, because if it gets really crazy, I might end up liking it. So yeah, that's .hackgu last recode.
Oh.
So are we doing another rotation, or?
So you're saying Sword Art Online and Ventimiglia? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, none. Do you want to do another rotation, sir?
Yeah, we can. What? Well,
Insane.
I watched Mugen Train like 5 days ago or
Mugen
so.
Train.
It was really good. Like it's hard to say like if I like it more than the manga or not, but I think a lot of the dream sequences in Mugen Train looked like it, I would say like those specifically I really liked seeing in the anime, because like they stood out a lot more to me, I guess. Like Inosuke's and Zenitsu's were like super fun and like goofy because like the music was there. I think that Tanjiro's was like his like the second one that he goes into where Enmu makes it into a nightmare, like all his family members are saying like all these negative things, and like in the movie it's like this black and white scene with like a really harsh red background, so it was like I think about that happening more than like remembering it happening in the manga, and I really like how each time he goes into the dream in the anime they show him like continually cutting his neck to like get out like over and over, like it has like a rapid
really
shot
cool,
scene
yeah.
of it. The manga doesn't have that because like I mean I can see why it doesn't do that, because limited page count and all that, and I think just by being a movie it kind of just shows things a little bit differently, but like that entire like fight because of it was like I was like super into it, and I guess it just makes like at least the first part of the arc a lot more memorable to me, I guess, because of how it adapts it. Whereas like there are moments that I still really like in the manga when I'm reading that arc, but like the standout part is the Rengoku versus Akaza, but like the movie I think in some ways makes the first part just like just better. And like I love like the speeches in the movie like are also like super good, because like when Tanjiro's like talking to Akaza when he's like running away and he's like Rengoku didn't lose, like he's like that was like
Run back, yeah.
like that's one of my favorite scenes in like Mugen Train because of the movie. Like when I read it, it wasn't it I probably wouldn't say it was one of my favorites then, but like now it's just like a really standout moment to me. And like like I just thought that like Tanjiro's voice performance there was like so good, and like the music there, I don't remember what that track's called, but it I just think that like it was like it was just really good. I also like the anime is like so pretty too, and like that scene like and it was like super it was even more impactful, I guess, because like Rengoku kept talking about how the fleeting life of humans is beautiful, and then like the anime like looks so good there when he's like dying, that it's just like I don't know, like I was thinking about it today, and it was like like the scenes were standing out a lot to me.
Nice.
I do think though, like when I went to watch Mugen Train, because I told you I watched that shit twice in theaters.
No, I was about to say this is I maybe it's happened before, but this is the second time it's been something has been brought up on the backlog that someone else also brought up weeks ago, which is cool. I don't mind it. I just think it's I think this is I said, I think the first time
from a dirty pirate like Nunmanji. If only he used Crunchyroll, but like
it's not on Crunchyroll. I would have actually watched it on Crunchyroll if it was there, because I watched season 1 of
pirate,
it there.
You're not supporting the anime industry. I bet you use Netflix, you dirty fucking pirate. But like, Mugen Train's really good. I do think my one thing is I thought towards the end, like after the Rengoku fight, when everybody's crying, I feel like I know it had to happen. I just felt like it went on for a bit too long.
I don't agree with that.
Like, I don't know, just sitting there for a bit. Because, like, especially, like, the way the music plays out, and then, like, another track plays as they're crying again, to me, like, I know it's good. I just felt sitting there, I was like, this is a little weird. This is a little odd.
I love the stretch of that part. I can't agree.
I really like, though, when it goes to all the Hashira, and they're, like, the crows give them the news, and they're, like, and you see all their fucking reactions. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think he's, like, this film... Fucking Inosuke's Seiyu is so fucking good. He's amazing. And this fucking, like, watching this part where where the maniac's like screaming like, this fucking monster, I'll beat its fucking ass. This fucking train, I knew it was a fucking monster. I'll fucking kill it. I'm fast. I'm stronger than the fucking train. Like that. Like I love the way he like voice acts Inosuke. It's really good. God. And Akaza's OST is also like fucking crazy. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like weird to me that, like, you know, I wouldn't say I'm like a person who's like super into OST, but like the OST of the Kimetsu anime is like legitimately one of my favorite parts about it.
He's the composer, actually. I'm curious.
Like it might even be like literally my favorite part about it, which sounds weird to say, at least for me.
I mean, that's
that
understandable.
makes sense.
It's a fucking banger OST.
Well, and also like the characters and a lot of aspects to them are still there in the manga, but the soundtrack is one thing the manga can't really have, so it makes sense that would stand out to you as like a major appeal of the anime, right?
I don't know, like even when there's things that I've only like read and then I like watched it, the OST, they're like probably one or two tracks that I like, but like in Kimetsu it's like almost every track I just like I'm super into. Like I don't know, I don't feel that normally when I watch
Wait,
things.
Hold on. Is this a fucking Yuki Kaji OST? Oh no, it's not. That was weird. Okay, so Shino Go. Like because they're on the staff for it. They're mentioned on the staff for it. No, okay, so they did Kyoso Giga, they did an episode of The Idolmaster, so I think aside from from fucking Kimetsu, and aside from Kyoso Giga, I don't I haven't really listened to any of the
Are there any shows that you at least like recognize as
God
notable?
Eater? I dropped God Eater, but and the Emiya's fucking test kitchen.
The Fate one.
Yeah, the one where they all just go over to his house and just eat. And I haven't finished it, but I liked it. The first episode was fun. Oh, and Dimension W. No one's talked about Dimension W since that shit came out. But yeah, Kimetsu's fucking OSTs are fucking amazing. And like I was just surprised at how especially like listening to Mugen Train, how fucking hard that shit goes in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It makes for better stuff to use in videos too. Use
it doesn't get copy fucked?
Videos. Does it? I think I used like one or two, and you've used one or two Kimetsu tracks I've seen.
Who's me?
You, Craftsdwarf. I've seen you use
on videos that I've edited.
Yeah.
Maybe
someone else. Somebody edits for you, like listed in the tracks.
Probably none.
Nunmanji?
I
Nunmanji's like...
don't remember if I've used that in a Crafts video or not.
Well, Nunmanji's
if I did, it was before I even like watched the series, so
I can't believe I didn't add this. Let me add this real quick. I'm gonna I'm gonna add this and then talk about it on my mail. So basically, I'm gonna be talking. If you're done, none.
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, never talk again. But I want to talk about that new one shot.
Okay, real quick.
Oh my god, he left.
No. The only time Kimetsu no Yaiba has been used on one of my OSTs was the Odin video, and I'm pretty sure that was Funky who edited that one.
Oh, okay,
so.
yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Because I called for
Japanese
sounding music, and so yeah, I guess that's what came to mind. So
so today I'm gonna talk about DC3, that one shot that was on last week's.
Oh yeah,
Jump.
the Promised Neverland one, or by the author and writer duo of them.
That was a one shot.
All right, moving on. Anyway, my turn. No.
What the fuck?
I mean, I figured that's what we all have to say about it, because it's like it just feels like a pilot for a possible eventual manga that they'll do that will maybe be good
really
after
does.
like 10 volumes. But
just release the manga already. Just release the manga already. Know it's coming, man.
I enjoyed the
like,
one shot.
There was a twist reveal that was kind of the obvious thing. That was the only thing that really could happen in a one shot.
Listen, this is a manga about protection. I don't need no man, but I do.
Yeah, I guess the premise was the girl who's like being hounded by a bunch of people for some reason, and so she gets a bodyguard who totally isn't their childhood friend who got hurt protecting them before and is now a robot. But you didn't hear that from me.
I mean, it's like the second best thing I experienced in the past 2 weeks about robots. Of the two things I've experienced about robots in the past 2 weeks. So,
You're such a piece of shit.
What the fuck? That's so rude. Don't say that to me. Okay, I'm done then.
All right, yeah, do you have anything to say about none? Because it's just so exists.
I can't.
I guess I'd be like somewhat interested in seeing it become a full thing. I'm not holding my breath for it, but I would be down to read it.
Yeah, it feels kind of like a series that would get canned in 3 volumes, but maybe it'll surprise me. Maybe I not want it to go in 3 volumes. Maybe I'll be like, no, it got canceled. I liked it, actually, but the one shot didn't give me with high hopes. Like, if it happens, it happens, and I'll be like, all right, I'm caught up with Jump. I'm gonna read it no matter. I'm reading Roboco. I've been reading Roboco since it came out.
You've
they
been
can't
reading
be
a
that
10
good
since it started.
Yeah, it can't be that
that's
good.
Crazy, right? You're
right, like when Roboco ends and gets its full color last chapter, a title that has only been awarded to ⁱᵝᵗ Dragon Ball Naruto and a Slam Dunk. Like when Roboco gets its final full color chapter, like I can say I've been reading it from the beginning.
Let's go.
God. You were there. Where were you when Roboco invented manga?
Haven't missed a week. Neither is Roboco. All right.
Got you, gorilla.
Anyway, what do I talk about? One of something I finished, but
talk about Roboco.
No. So we're on the usual late night streams that we do. And I guess it's technically the last one that's Toku because we're it's being opened up to not just be Tokusatsu anymore. But we technically have one movie left, but we're basically done with Kamen Rider Double, or Kamen Rider. It's spelled W, but it's pronounced double
or double.
Yes, it's I guess it ended up being my favorite Kamen Rider show. I feel like if I rewatched Build, I might put Build above it, because for my opinion really soured on Build once not even for any reason, just like once I caught up and was no longer binging it, I just suddenly didn't enjoy it as much anymore, and I feel like that's not fair to the show. Like I don't know. I feel like the way the show is structured, just it was like because every episode practically leads right into the next one. Like there's no breathing room, and for a binging experience, that was awesome. Then once it was weekly, I was like, and yeah, that was great because I really like the cast of Build a lot, and I like the ideas and stuff. Though I will say, what I liked about Double is that, the main 2 characters especially are really good. I love Shotaro, where basically to summarize the whole point of the show is that it's basically, at least for them, it's more about, perfection, where Shotaro is, he wants to be a hard-boiled detective, like his chief who died in the first episode. But instead he's a half-boiled, which, you know, he's called at, like, you know, as like, you know, derogatorily, but his flaws are good things also sometimes, you know, and he's ultimately, like, he is the ideal, like, you know, it's very much a, you know, perfection isn't just one person, you know, like, because he works with Philip, and they're together, they are Kamen Rider Double, and that's, you know, they're strong. That's what makes them strong. Like, they're able to work together and figure shit out, and it's good. And also, though I will say one area that it easily surpasses build-in is the female lead. Akiko is great. She's funny.
You're talking about you don't like the Queen of Mars?
Boo!
The Queen of Mars, Craftsdwarf.
Imagine being worse than literally all the other main characters in your series.
Well, okay, see, that's unfair, actually. That's really unfair to build because the main 4 writers are phenomenal. Like, that's not fair.
And she
that's
just exists. Like,
okay.
She's there. And Akiko is actually good and enjoyable. And I like seeing her on scene because she's funny. And, you know, she's able to grow up over, like, faster than Shotaro in some ways. And, she's very funny, and I like her. And the secondary writer is also good, Teru Ryu, aka Kamen Rider Axel, where he starts off kind of an edgy hard ass, but, you know, he softens up, and he is influenced by Shotaro, who, like, because the whole thing with him is he seems perfect, almost like he's supposed to be the ideal partner for Philip, but at the end of the day, like, Shotaro is the ideal because he isn't ideal, where Ryu is kind of you know, because he's quote-unquote perfect, he's not as good with working with others, but, like, and that becomes kind of his failing, in a sense. What were you going to say? What? I feel like you were about to ask something.
I totally didn't fall off in the watching of that.
It's very early, even. I guess one thing I will say about Double is, like, it's, aside from being, like, you know, it's good, and it's one of the most, like, I think on my drama list, it is the highest rated tokusatsu entry, period. Which, you know, doesn't say a lot because my drama list has a fairly small tokusatsu fan base relative to, like, its other stuff. And obviously there's lots of people who watch Toku who don't use it, but I think still that think that's interesting. And but I will say one, I guess, like, thing with it is that there are movies that I would say are required watching. Like, for example, like I mentioned, Shotaro, like, a big part of, you know, especially at the start, was that the chief, his at the detective agency he works at, dies in episode 1, and Shotaro really idolized him, and a few episodes early on deal with, like, him sort of, like, working past that loss. It gets resolved in a movie that takes place after episode 14 that is a crossover movie with Kamen Rider _Decade.
Unfortunate that's a Decade movie.
It's like, I literally have not finished the movie. If you go into my anime list, I have or my drama list, I literally have it as marked as on hold because we literally, to watch it, we literally skipped like 45 minutes of the Decade portion to the climax that was mostly nonsense because it's building off both halves of the movie. Like, there's literally like a W half or a double half, which literally, like, it's basically like a great double two-parter. And then the Decade portion, which I don't know anything about it because I skipped it, and because it's basically a sequel to Kamen Rider Decade, which was the series that was before Double. And then there's a 20-minute climax that merges all the plots. So it's like, okay, there's some stuff I know what's going on. Then there's a bunch of other shit that's happening, and I'm like, who the fuck are these people? Like, I recognize Kamen Rider Decade, obviously, and I guess those are side characters of Decade. But then there's, like, it's just, I guess I don't know what's going on because I haven't seen half the movie, but even though, like, my experience with the movie was severely negatively, or not severely, but, like, definitely impacted somewhat negatively by having to skip half of it, you kind of have to watch the movie because of what it resolves for Shotaro and for Double. Like, there's a moment at the end that got me teary-eyed because it was really good, but it's based around the Double stuff, and but I couldn't finish the movie, and it's a little frustrating that, like, I had, like, and in order to, like, because I'm kind of a completionist, and, like, I don't want to watch Decade unless I have seen all the shows that it references, which is everything from Kuga to Decade, and then a few of the older ones, by which I mean Amazon, the original Kamen Rider, and Black RX, I think. So
Black.
So it's like there's like over 1,000 like 600-700 episodes of Kamen Rider I need to watch before Decade, and then I can actually watch the Kamen Rider Double Decade movie in full.
Man,
because
you gotta watch 600 episodes to watch like
a show that is
version of Kamen Rider Geo apparently.
Right, which just apparently like, and yes, I do, because apparently Decade spoils the shit out of a lot of the shows that it references and character.
Oh no, it does. Like,
and I don't want to just like, oh, I'll just watch Decade so that I can watch this movie, because then I'll just spoil myself on a lot of shows that are apparently probably better than Decade. Because Decade isn't well liked.
Do not like Decade either.
Right, but it's like I do want to at least experience it for myself with the context and make my own judgment. But I also like want to recommend Doubled to some degree because I think it's a good show, but you need to watch the movie to get this character beat resolved, and you can't watch the movie. So I just say, I'm sorry, like, I don't want to say, like, skip part of the movie. Like, and that's what, like, at least I'm saying, I'm not saying I watched the movie in full. Like, again, if you go to my drama list, I have it marked as on hold because I've seen most of it, but I haven't seen all of it. So it's like,
Crafts.
and much easier to watch there is the later A to Z movie that takes place after episode 44, which has several things that come up in the last episodes. So it's, again, you can't, and it's actually good, so it's fine, and you can just watch it. Like, Kamen Rider O's comes in, and he's from the next series. They just do that, where they preview the next series.
Is such a fucking killer fucking suit, man.
But, so, like, there's just a minor, like, caveat where, like, yeah, you have to, like, watch more than half of a movie that you don't get the context for, unless you want to risk spoiling yourself on a show that, and like, you're not going to have any fucking idea what's going on in those 40 minutes, I assume, if you haven't seen Decade, because I don't know those characters.
Craftsdwarf, you get to watch 400 plus episodes of Toku just to get to this
without getting spoiled this shit. Right, exactly.
Yeah, you get to, dude, your reward is that. Are you happy, Craftsdwarf? Is this everything you ever wanted?
Yeah,
this is why Toku's a blight on humanity.
Kamen Rider ruined Toku.
Just Decade. It's only Decade.
Right. So
look,
so,
dude, God, he's so ugly. I hate it. And they somehow made God. Okay, real quick. How did they give him an updated form once the fucking Geo is over? And it looks worse.
Oh God.
It's the worst fucking thing I've ever seen.
But
God,
anyway, to talk more positive. So instead of just bitching about Kamen Rider, it's garbage franchise. Anyway, but yeah, Kamen Rider Doubles, like, it's sort of built in like a 2-part episode structure where every 2 episodes they're entitled as such because, like, a big thing with the it's English letters or words, especially because Philip is basically a Google search engine for the entire world. Where basically, like, so Shotaro gives him keywords and he can literally, like, discover culprits based, like, he has all the information, he just can't just get whatever he wants.
You can't piece it together.
He needs the keywords to fill, like, because otherwise, like, again, it's literally like Google, where if you have all the information there, but you need to know how to find it, and so Shotaro's a detective, he goes, finds the information, finds the keywords for Philip, so he can find these really specific deep things and uncover the culprits. So every 2 episodes is a case, and they can just be really wild. Like, there's a music focused one that has the Shotaro and Philip, like, sing like one of the insert songs at a, like, kind of talent competition thing because someone is doing some sneaky shit and he shouldn't be getting the praise he does because he sucks. But, you know, there's shifty shit going on. There's one where there's a living doll that is harassing people. Like, the episodes can just be really fun and wild. The monster designs and in general just the suit designs, like, are really solid overall, which you know, can't be said of every Kamen Rider show that I've seen. And the antagonists are pretty good, especially, like, one of the earlier ones, Nazca, and they just tend to offer, like, good contrasts with the main characters. And you know, there's an overarching mystery that, you know, it's a detective thing, and that gradually gets solved. Another reason to consider watching it is that next year there's an anime airing called ⁱᵃᵗ, which is a sequel to Kamen Rider Double. So it's getting an anime sequel in the future, and it's a good show. I would recommend it. It's like, again, it's fun. The characters are good. Like, it's just really solid overall.
Can't believe Kamen Rider's copying Gridman.
You please shut up. No, so I need to finish it because, one, they're making a fucking anime adaptation of ⁱᵃ of
which is
yeah,
it's a manga, so it's not like they're making an anime sequel.
Yeah.
They're adapting a manga sequel. Sorry, I should have specified. But
yeah, and that's why I have to finish it. But also, When you get to it, I'm curious on what you think, because apparently, because you can totally tell when you watch Decade, when you watch not Decade, fuck Decade. You can totally tell when you watch like Drive. When you watch
yes, because that's right. They're both Riku Sanjo, who is also the writer of Dragon Quest Dives Great Adventure, I believe.
Yeah.
But he seems to be more acclaimed for his work on Kamen Rider, and I believe he did both. Yeah. Well, I've even heard that like, the reason Kamen Rider Axel he's a car themed writer, and so you almost see like, maybe the writer has like an affection for cars and vehicles, because now you have Drive, which is a full on car themed season.
Yeah.
So
you could, there's like Forza, W, and Drive all like.
Oh, is Forza Riku Sanjo too, or is it just
he worked on it, but he wasn't a series head
he wasn't
writer.
the head writer like
but
he
like
was with
the
Double
feels
and Bill, or
very
Drive, yeah.
similar.
Okay.
Like there's certain like in Phase 2 Heisei that feel very like similar in the way, like, because Forza, W, and Drive all have 2-parter episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Drive especially. When you get to Drive, you'll notice there's a lot of things that are very similar. Like it has like, instead of like, for example, instead of Philip, there's it's a Beltason, which is like the belt is a person. He's a character, and like he's basically the Philip.
Well, and what you just reminded, because like Shotaro is a detective, Teru Ryu, Axel is a police officer who's also a writer. So like he very much like, I especially feel like going into Build, or not. I would keep saying Build, Drive. He's like a kind of like prototype Drive character, because again he's car themed. He's a cop. And as I understand that, like the main Kamen Rider Drive is he's a car themed rider who's a cop, right? So
God, Shinosuke is such a fucking sexy man. But like,
just quick, are there any characters in Drive who are seeking vengeance for their dead family?
Their dead family, there might be, not like as a main character.
Okay, gotcha.
Because
No,
there is. You're 100% there.
All right, because
it's Mach. Mach is the one who's
the secondary writer.
Yeah.
Okay, so just like Double, there is a secondary writer who's, who is searching for vengeance for their dead family. So, yeah. And in,
it's
at least
so funny though. It's so funny that Double's your favorite Kamen Rider series. Because
it's
Drive's
like a strong
mine.
7. Yeah. So I'm, and it's not that
What the fuck?
What? It's I mean, like I said, Bill, I think could be higher if I rewatched it, but
I'm gonna fucking commit suicide right now. What you saying right now? Your fucking highest Kamen Rider is a fucking 7. Hello? I'm gonna fucking commit suicide.
Well, I mean, I think it's better on average than Ultraman, which, even though my highest Ultra series is a 9. Sorry, Super Sentai is just clear.
You haven't seen Drive. You haven't watched it. Your opinion doesn't matter to me. You haven't seen Forza either. Your opinion doesn't matter to me.
No, there's a lot of Kamen Rider series I'm interested in. I'm glad I watched Double though. It's good. I liked it.
Yeah, I need to finish it.
You should.
Cause so I can finally validate myself as a Drive stan. So people should be like, Double did it first.
I mean, because like that doesn't matter if Drive, like, because maybe I'll really like Drive and I'll just think it's better. So I don't know.
Look, bitch shit that Axel turns into a motorcycle when fucking a Drive combined with this car. All right, I don't want to hear it. Cars are cooler than bikes.
Also,
anyway.
Shotaro is relatable to me because he becomes an old man.
Well.
All right. Anyway, I'm about done. So we can call the episode.
Drive has hot lady in it. So
neat.
Well, thank you guys for watching the last episode of the Weeb Club. Thank God, finally we're done.
Goodbye. Unlucky number 13.
Well,
that's Cross actually trying to jinx something. What the heck?
Very weird, actually. Very unlucky that our 13th episode we
Thanks
lose
for
a
listening.
rat.
Goodbye.
Kill ourselves.
All right, here we go. Got the cereal, so let's just try. Well, it's not bad. It tastes like the If you've ever had blueberry, whoever Craftsdwarf, put some blueberry on screen. Yeah. That's what it is.